Good evening, friends. We are now live and waiting for others to join. So, today's topic, as we all know, hi Anurag, thank you for joining in. Today's topic, as we all know, is going to be about commitment. And commitment is a very uh, interesting subject because of what it carries, because of what it is, because of the meanings that it has been given and the interpretation it has. So commitment is what all of us believe we have to ourselves. So today I'll be discussing aspects of commitment. I'll be discussing fear of commitment. I'll be discussing expectations of commitment. And let's see, let's wait for more people to join. Meanwhile, in case there are questions, you can definitely ask. One of the things that about commitment that I personally, while writing the blog yesterday, also I realized meaning basically of commitment. If I were to go ahead and explain, and when I started even looking up, so it is a twofold explanation. One is a belief that you have in the purpose, in something bigger than yourself, and the other is commitment. Contextually, is a promise. So when it comes to commitment in terms of promise or in terms of a belief system, I think that is where the beauty of commitment is. And what I have realized over time is that more than and I have normally I started my I I have heard this word more in terms of a relationship. However, I think it's much bigger than that. I've always believed that it is much bigger than that. Commitment, I believe, is first and foremost towards oneself. And once you kind of cross the stage of being committed towards yourself, you kind of are in a much better position to be committed towards others, to be committed towards anything. So commitment towards self. Hello Pranay, thank you for joining in. So commitment towards self is the most important thing that one needs to focus. And I think when you're talking about so let's take a step back. And as I was discussing about purpose, belief, and as I was talking about promise that we make to others and to ourselves, so let's look at an organizational structure, for example, or relationships, for example. Now if you look at commitment from a want to or a have to perspective, so in fact, while I was preparing for this particular live session today, I myself was thinking of commitment versus attachment. So what happens is that when we talk about fear of commitment, why is it that we do not want to commit? Why is it that what is it that is stopping us from being committed? I think it is and let me first spell out Let me first spell out the difference between attachment and Anurag, I'll just take up this question. In 21st century, what is the level of commitment amongst people and in fact corporate organization? I will take this up as a model. So I'm just coming to that once I get through this. So for that, what I would also like to say that between commitment and attachment, if you look at it, you have to see that commitment is more towards the process, whereas attachment is more towards outcome. When you are attached to an outcome, unfortunately what we do is we go from attachment to attachment without committing towards the cause, something bigger than us. So what happens is when we are expecting something to work for us, we expect that we are so stressed out we are so attached to the result that we forget the effort attached to it. So we are not committing to the process, we are not committing to what we are supposed to do. So it's basically something like living in the moment. It's like we are not committing to what our efforts are. What we are committing to is what we are expecting is, and this is kind of expectation cycle. What we are expecting is the outcome should be good, and that's where the entire fear process starts. Because we are right now, while we think we are committing, we are living in a expectation of what should be, what has to be, what will be. So if we are, for example, in a job, for example, if we are expecting X amount of, it's a kind of satisfaction. So that is a sort of attachment that we are not committing to what our effort to is in that particular. What we are doing is we are kind of getting attached to the feedback of it. We are getting attached to what the result is. If, for example, we have a target of getting X number of people enrolled in our program, right? Or if you have a target of getting a job, now my purpose would be I'll be focused on I'll be very attached to that result of getting a job. Now my commitment will not be looking at what I can do now, but it's more like if the result, so it's like when I'm very attached to the result. So the minute I'm not able to see an immediate outcome, I will feel. So attachment is emotional, commitment is since it's about the efforts, if you've done the effort, you are happy with it. So for example, if I am I'm like taking this example of Insta Live. I am doing this Insta Live every day, every week at 5 o'clock. I start 5 o'clock, I end at 5:20 or 5:22. I would like people to come, but my job is to prepare, my job is to give the best of experience to whoever is joining. The fact, and it's for each individual who is joining. People who are able to join, who are able to give their time to this, is the outcome is not within my hand. How many people join is not within my hand. I cannot get attached to the outcome. My commitment is to this time that I've put, to this action that I've put. So what I think commitment is to the action, whereas to the effort, whereas attachment is to the result. So do not get confused between the two is what I'm trying to say. Secondly, going back to your question of in 21st century, how can you get organizational commitment to work? How can you get what is the organizational model of commitment? So as I was reading it further today, I was given there's a 3-component model of commitment which was developed by John Mayers and Natalie Allen, back in 91. So if you have, they're divided into effective commitment, continuous commitment, and normative commitment. Now if you look at it, the idea is any person who is working for an organization, and you have to kind of identify it with yourself as well, that if you're working for an organization, you will sometimes what will happen is you will be attached to the organization. You'll feel you're in a good job. You'll feel that your job is serving the personal purpose that you were there for. You will feel that it is giving you that leeway. It is serving your purpose. It is giving you all the right reasons to stay in the job. The second is which basically means effective commitment is basically affection for your job. The second is, if I say, normative commitment, which is a sense of obligation to the job. जिसे आप कहते हैं कि you will be feeling that there is something which kind of holds you, a sense of loyalty, if it is, and or a sense of if someone might say that if I need to be here, it's a sort of need based kind of a thing. My need, I am important for. It's more like a person feels that they are required to be here, and that's a very important part of commitment, because the third form of commitment is a fear of loss. So what happens is when you feel that I am committed, because when you do a cost benefit analysis, you feel going from here will not get me anywhere. So the cost of moving from the current job or your current profile is higher to the is lower. So the benefit of moving is lower to you staying here. So that is what happens when you are trying to do a cost benefit analysis. The other part, when it comes to relationships and fear of commitment, is also about commitment versus satisfaction. So now whenever you are in a relationship, now if you were to look at it, not just relationship, it's about commitment. It's like commitment is not like how does commitment help? It's not a straight line where you wherever you get into any kind of, be it with work, be it with yourself, be it with another person, be it with life in general. It's not like things will always be in the same zone. You would probably have your ups and downs. Now, how does commitment help there? Commitment keeps you focused. Commitment keeps you, gives you a better sense of environment, keeps you, see what happens is when you are committed, you do not want to kind of, you give a person, or you give an opportunity, or give an organization, or give yourself a chance. You say that let me see, let me try, let me work things around, so you are kind of in that mode. That is what commitment does for you. And it's a very good way of working together to overcome difficulties. So even in friendships, even during misunderstandings, commitment is when you know that you have to make it work. Commitment is the gel which holds it together, because once you're committed to a relationship, or you are committed to yourself, you know that you can't break. You will not break. Especially when you're committed to yourself, you do not allow yourself to break. You say, I will not break. And that is the biggest commitment that you can do to anything. The idea also is that you have to understand that commitment, the difference between commitment and, like I'm coming back to again, attachment is when you actually commit to something, it's an active decision you take. So you're committing, you're saying that I am taking a decision to commit. Whereas when you're attached, you are led. So it's not a conscious decision. So committing is a conscious decision, and probably that is why there is so much fear of commitment, because when you're taking a conscious decision to commit, there is a level of vulnerability to it. There is a level of where you want to check out कि भाई whether or not it is the right thing for me or not. You want to see if what if something better, some better opportunity might come along, or you might just feel that and there was this time when you saw when you looked at a profile and you would see that there are a lot of skips in a job. People are jumping profiles. So how does that happen? Why does that happen? That happens because people do not want to feel trapped, and people are looking for instant gratification, as Simon Sinek puts it. They are children, especially not just children, actually, thanks to the social media stage that we are living in, we and Facebook likes and all of that, we're looking for a very instant gratification kind of a thing. We're looking for something to immediately work for us immediately. We want thumbs up, and we want likes, and we want cheers. We want things to work for us. When we don't get it, that component, that miss, which that gap which is created by lack of immediate appreciation versus the wait to get there, that is filled by commitment. Commitment also kind of helps you feel get yourself in a stage where it makes you feel that it makes you feel hopeful, to be very honest. It doesn't make you break that hope. It makes you feel that if it hasn't worked in the past, doesn't mean it will not work any longer. It will work, and that is what everything is all about. It has to work. It gives you faith. Commitment gives you faith. So what the idea of commitment is, you have to ask yourself every time that when you're making a conscious decision of committing to a task, a person, a purpose, you kind of work with it. Having said that, I always am a huge believer of the fact that there is no reason why commitment doesn't mean that you have to bind yourself. It is an enabler, but do not convert it into a sort of a disable. Don't make it a disability just because like Salman Khan has said, मैंने commitment कर दी तो मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता, some kind of dialogue it has. So I've quoted, but my point always is, why is it? There are sometimes things don't work out. They're not in your hand. Now fretting about it, feeling guilty about it, saying that it had to work for you, doesn't work. You can and you will and you have to pick. And I think that is the bigger commitment that you have to yourself than everything around. Commitment to making life work for you in whatever possible way. That is also a commitment. So I think just go with, do not, if you have in a way even said, committed, one possible way of, and if you're unable to keep that commitment, do not get frustrated about it. For example, a very simple, you are supposed to reach somewhere at 10 o'clock, you are a person of habit, you reach there, you are a very particular person, you are like, so, but then for some reasons you're stuck, you cannot reach at 10 o'clock. What do? You call that person up and you tell them, you prepare them. But you do not get hassled by the fact that I have broken a commitment. That is not how life works. So you set expectations right. And that is how, and that happens with everybody. So you give yourself that leverage that even if it's not like breaking commitments, it's like ensuring that you put in every effort. So I think like commitment is like putting in every effort, outcome is not in your hand. You do not get attached to the outcome. I think that is the difference I'm trying to portray when I'm saying that commitment is just ensuring that, be attached, be very focused on the result, action. You can do everything that you've done about an action. Now your job is to do something about if things are not in your hand, and take next step, take another action which can work. So it's like take the next step. That's it. Life takes its own path. You take the next step. So I think it's already 5:21. So quickly summing it up. What we discussed today is we discussed the 3-component model of commitment by John Mayer and Natalie Allen, which was effective communication, effective commitment, continuous commitment, and normative commitment. We discussed the difference between commitment and attachment, where we actually spoke about commitment being action oriented, whereas attachment being result oriented. So please be action oriented. We discussed the fear of commitment. Now these are some of the things that we kind of we have been kind of discussing. Through the week, I will come up with my blogs, and I would also like to now introduce Garima Dutt. Now, Garima Dutt is a media personality. She is a media entrepreneur. She's a journalist. She's into a lot of voluntary work, and she will be joining us coming Friday. And I wish that you can also join us for a very lively interaction on commitment. So on Friday, looking forward to meeting all of you, and ciao, and have a good day, evening.